All right, separate traders, good afternoon and welcome on back here this Tuesday post Traders Talk edition here of our afternoon meeting this October 11th. Frog in my throat there, pardon me. Great to see Chuck, Patrick, and all of us just rejoining us inside the live trading room right now. Mark as well, and Nina and Ron and Leda. Perfect. And all of us just joining us as well back on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube. Same to be said, folks. Welcome on back as well. Hey, right now, IMUX looking like $1,000,000 right now, pushing up really nicely on the way up to 8. So right out the gate, we'll put this on our watch list here for right now. I know a couple of us are in this trade currently at this time. So yeah, IMUX, just a stock from the morning, ended up making a nice little move across the day. I will say though, it's had a few moments where it's consolidated, took its time. It wasn't just one big volatile pop. You could see shortly after the market opened up, it made the initial run, but then consolidated right around that 10:15, 10:30-ish time. You would expect a reversal, a pullback of sorts, but this just kept grinding on up and giving and maintaining its trend. Really throughout the day, ended up running up pretty nicely. From there, shook back down, but maintained its trend, ended up squeezing back up again. So, hey, for right now, this trade easily, like I just said before, we'll put this on our watch list in terms of where we could find like a historical level. Of course, we're focused on the volume first. I would expect resistance off of 8 at first, just even though there's 1,800 shares that's only showing there's got to be more that's going to get filled right off that price. So I would definitely respect 8 as the initial resistance. But let's say if it clears that, if it really keeps on grinding up, pushing on up, it looks like back from the end of last year, right around 818, 820. This is from the weekly chart. And actually, prior to that, if I could zoom in more, I did this earlier with a student on a coaching call. It looked like this bottomed out really well, actually, a little bit right around 846, 840-ish. So, I would say just above 8 would be a historical level. Let's, focus on $8 initially. But if it keeps grinding on up from there, then look out for right around 840-ish. I wrote inside the trading room just that generalized area, like 835 to 845, just kind of like under that, these two bars, let's say. So for right now, we'll see if it could grind, on up higher towards that area. But let's go from top to bottom here in the meantime. There's a couple of other stocks that are moving up, that are moving well, let's just say. One that I've been trying to get a damn entry on for like really all day. It's been moving really well, though. And then otherwise, LACE, LASE here. It's been grinding on up, but this one has been a really nice entry off of 3. It's been pushing up since. So right now, we'll definitely put this back on our watch list here as well. It's more of like a level 1 stock, level 1 to 2 perhaps. Probably going to get more bang for your buck on the IMUX. But for right now, we'll see if this could really keep grinding on up. It's still maintaining its trend up off the lows. I would want it to really begin to push up higher towards the 26,000 shares on the ask right off 320. It's got some big volume even under that first, but that's your next resistance here in mind off 320 for LASE. But we'll put this back on our watch list here too. All right. And there we go. Chuck, very excited about his nerve trade moving. He's in on that as a swing trade, though. So keep in mind, big difference when it comes to day trading a stock versus swing trading. And, hey, at this point right now, it's up. It's at the highs. It's also still on a 9-cent spread, Chuck, like we talked about before. So I'm not going to be as subjective to put this on our main watch list right now. Hey, it's a good swing trade. And like we were talking about through the main chat earlier, hey, it's been a great day for the swing because otherwise I'm sure that you'll see some consolidation coming up. If not, great, but it's making a pretty strong move back up to the highs that we had back from like late August, early September time here. So that we were a big fan of that stock then. If it has any better liquidity than what it currently has right now, Chuck, I'd add it. But right now it doesn't. So we're going to follow some other stocks here first, stocks that likely have some better volume on the book. We know that. So, that likely includes DICE. We're not going to follow DICE as much. We didn't from the morning, and thank God we didn't. This thing was only a disaster here since the market opened up. Nerve definitely looks stronger of a chart than this right now, of course. But, this just goes to show you don't want to follow anything that's illiquid. It's a lot harder to get out of, especially using a limit order and using a market order. You're going to get crushed by the spread oftentimes. Same to be said on HKD. We talked about HKD earlier. Ran up earlier. God bless anyone that played the slots and, made some money on this stock, a little gamble stock. But came right back down. This thing took a 10-point drop as fast as it ran up 10 points. So I'm not trying to be on the wrong side of that trade. We had a decent morning and a little gave some profits back going into the early afternoon, but LASE is doing me pretty nicely and a couple of other trades just now. So, I don't want to just jump into a trade that has higher risk and lesser reward, perhaps we'll say. Now this SCPH. This one earlier didn't have as liquid of a book. And I feel like it started to fill in a little bit more over the last, I don't know how long, but last, let's say, hour at least. It's been pushing on up really well. Fairly tight spread. It's, opened up here and there to a couple cents, but otherwise, this is looking pretty good. SCPH. Nice. And I really say that because I think one of our students had called it out yesterday. It had really low volume, being traded, thin book, big spread. Even right now, as I'm talking, I saw him a moment ago. Catch your eye on the bid here right off 523. There was just about a 12,000 share order just out there a moment ago. So, just be mindful of support to pop up here coming up. But SCPH will, at least for right now, put on our watch list. I say at least for now, because if I come back to it and it tanks 35 cents, then I will at least for then take it off our watch list. IMUX, again, looking pretty strong on the way up towards that 8 level. I would expect a false breako the first test. RVPH, not a whole lot happening there. WNW is a pop and drop from earlier today. This was a pop and drop from like a year or two back, I recall. Just ended up making this big up and down move. So just, history often repeats itself. And there's our nerve trade, Chuck. Chuck also excited about the Peggy from earlier, which we'll jump to next. That's a couple down here. That one had more volume on the book, at least the last few days. So we'll check in with that. My scanner's refreshing there briefly. All right, so Peggy pushing back on up to 5, but actually this is looking pretty good because it's breaking above the highs, or it has already, from the last couple of trading days, back from Thursday last week and then back from this past, Monday yesterday. So, yeah, looking pretty good for right now. We'll add Peggy to our list, Chuck. Looking good. Oh, man, my scanner's refreshing on me here quite a bit. All right, let's see what else we got here across the gainer side before they refresh again. ATXG, I think that was a familiar name from like a week or two ago or a couple days back, I reckon. Not looking too great there. IVR was a stock I believe we traded back in COVID, back in the pandemic, one of these mortgage companies. It was this, it was MFA, which they had to have done a reverse split since. But MFA really strong run up today, and then the other one, MIT. This one's looking really spotty, not trading a lot of volume on that one. But IVR looks, in terms of trend, it's closer to the highs than anything. Very liquid order book. Not trading a whole lot of volume per minute, though. Only about like 3,000 shares, 3,100 shares. That number likely to drop off more over time. So I'll put this on our side list right now. IVR wouldn't hurt us to put this on the main list, but in regards to prioritizing and just trying to cherry pick the best. I feel like there could be even some good shorts here into the close, especially if the markets don't pop up higher. We could see another drop back down on Lyft. We could see another drop back down on Uber. Those were phenomenal trades from earlier today, both on the short side and the long side. The bounce back up. So Lyft, again, I just said it, dropped off right out the gate this morning after the market opened. We had this and we had the Uber trade on the morning list, coming off news and pre-market, led to a big drop down to sub 11, bounced off of 1082. And then from there, made a nice run back up. So Lyft is still relatively active here at this time of the day. I can, easily put this back on our list. Uber looking a little flat. I took a few cents just a moment ago on this trade right off of 25. I think my entry is 25, 24, 25, 23. I was looking for the drop down to the whole number level at 25. I almost had it. It started to bounce back up ever so slightly. Yanked profits. Money's money, but it was tiny. Uber is not looking as like strong in any direction, really. If I were to add one over the other, it'd be Lyft. At this point, Uber looks pretty exhausted. It wouldn't hurt us to name Uber as well, but All right, folks, I think that might just about be it for me here. I got Billy, I guess, Bili. We talked about this one as well from the morning session. This was on our morning watch list. And, well, I'll tell you, this one's actually showing better direction compared to both Lyft and Uber, actually. Trending on down steadily, recently breaking back under the VWAP price. Doesn't hurt us to add Billy, so we'll do that at least. We got Win, which I wanted to take a look at. Win and Las Vegas Sands. I mean, tradable. Inching up there a little bit. LVS, similar move. If you personally did well in the casino stocks earlier today, whether it be LVS or Win or even MGM, if it's there somewhere, I'm sure that you'll be more inclined personally to, follow them. But otherwise, let me know, folks, if there's anything else up, down, left, right, more than that 5% you would want us to look at, check out before we wrap things up. And Chuck, I hope you do well on the swing, my friend. But right now, Nerve is just too illiquid as a day trade. Jumping back to SCPH, it hasn't tanked 35 cents yet, so we're going to keep this on our list. Still looks relatively strong for right now. Check back in on the IVR trade here. Wouldn't hurt us to put this on our list. I've been saying that this whole meeting now, but at this point, it's pretty close to the high, so why not? We'll do that. All right, folks. So I think in total that makes just for about 2, 4, 6, 7 stocks to work with here heading into the afternoon. Mark right now saying he's been in Lace since $3. Scaled out about 70% of the positions, even sold at the high of 330. Beautiful. Very nice, Mark. Congrats. Hopefully a lot more left on Lace, not just for your sake, but for mine. And for all of us here inside the live trading room as well. So for all of us on social media, Facebook Live, YouTube, we're going to just jump back to the action here inside our live trading room. If you have any questions, feel more than free to send it over through email. I always like to post my email here at the end of these streams, josh@c2trading.com. A couple of housekeeping notes just before we wrap up. Actually, later on today, coming up at the market close, we're going to be having Jeffrey Turnmeyer on from Echo Trading. So he's one of our partners here towards CTU, a great presenter, actually. I've listened to him back, I think it was like a couple months ago at this point, 4 months ago, actually, at this point. But really good presenter, educator, really good. And with that, one of our friends. So I look forward to having him on our end as part of our Closing Bell webinar series later on today. If you're interested in registering for that event, just go right to our website. Go right to our homepage there, cybertradinguniversity.com. It's right on our homepage. You can't miss it. But with that in mind, though, if you're interested in joining our live trading room, feel more than free to go right down to the link on the yellow banner below the stream that you see right there to get yourself started. But for right now, I know that Rich will be jumping back on the mic in about 15-20 minutes, right at 3 o'clock Eastern. I'll be on a coaching call with one of our students, Warren, hopefully catching a few trades here with you folks like the IMUX or, Lace. Hopefully that keeps pushing up there for right now. But, we'll definitely catch something. It seems like a relatively active close, folks. So I look forward to it. I'll talk to you all soon.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.